Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing. Welcome. Glad to have everyone here on Friday, April 3rd, 2020, which is National Walk to Work Day. Apparently we are all excelling at that, walking from our bedroom to our couch. And it is also World Party Day. We are not doing so well at that, but we have the National Walk to Work Day thing down. Today we are going to have, as we have been doing the past couple weeks, we're going to do some general messages, and then we're going to hop into some questions that some of you had asked. Hop, you notice Hop? Hey, you see my bunny on the table? Isn't she lovely? She's a boyfriend over there. He's a handsome fella too. Maybe you'll get to see him next week. I am going to switch this to doing this probably 2 times a week. Instead of every other day, since apparently Ohio and many other places through the United States, as well as other places worldwide, we are going to be continuing to hang out in our homes for the whole month of April. So I do still want to be connecting with all of you, seeing how all of you are doing, answering any questions that you have. Just the frequency, instead of every other day-ish, we will do it a couple times a week. Definitely once, probably twice a week. And I'm not going to set dates, but just stay tuned. And if you have questions, put your questions down below. If I have already answered your question, please don't put any more questions down, because I'm trying to get as many questions answered for people as possible. Also, if you have already posted your question, be it in one of the previous videos or be it on Facebook, I have your question in the bag to pull next time. So if it's not answered today, no need to post your question again. I've got it. Please make my life easy and yours, because I have to go through, for those of you that submit them multiple times, and make sure that you're not in there multiple times. So if you've submitted one, you are good to go. So just ask your team, where are you all? Can't you have her pull my name? Help her pull my name. I want my question answered. So go ahead and do that. Now, a number of you have been asking for updates as to where things are on my military stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. You all are all amazing. I really do appreciate it. And I also appreciate the prayers and everything. But we are still where we were in January. Absolutely nothing has moved forward. Literally nothing. Still waiting on my active duty back pay. Still waiting on my Purple Heart. Still waiting on the Air Force to increase my rating with them up to the 80% and the pay accordingly. Still waiting on the VA to get it to 100%. Still waiting on them to reimburse that $2,000 that they withheld from my pay for no reason last year. And other little nitty things still waiting to be concluded. And it really didn't go anywhere because right after I did that last video for you guys, if you want more details on it, I'm not going to go into more details, but you're welcome to listen to the video I posted in January. I gave more information then. But right after I posted that video, I got sick. I got this weird flu. And I mentioned the flu to you guys a couple weeks ago. But it was weird because first couple days I had aches. And then a couple days I started having stomach issues. And then a couple days it was just random symptoms. Just for a couple days. And then go to another symptom. And this drug on for 2 weeks. Me and the girls sleeping a whole lot. We really got a lot of sleep. I no sooner started feeling better, and then I got a respiratory infection. So that took me down. And then I no sooner get better from the respiratory infection, and then Earth shut down. So that's where we're at. Hopefully, as soon as things begin to move again in May, we can finally get these things concluded. I am praying hard that, things leap out of the gate in May, and this stuff is finally done. Fixed, closed, so I can close this chapter of my life that's been dragging on for years, and then you guys don't have to hear about it anymore, and we can move forward. Because I really do not want to do the video series. So the angels have been telling me since, and even Jesus popped in and said that, if you don't have the things that you are deserving and should be receiving by the end of the year, which was last year, you are to do a video series where you're going to start to share what happened to you. Because there were a lot of injustices and a lot of things that happened. But I've not ever wanted to do those videos because it's not such good stuff. And anywhere, you're always going to have issues with things. And a lot of the systems and things that were broken, they did fix. There's still some other things that need to be fixed. But I just wanted to come out when this was all done and be like, oh my gosh, they've gone above and beyond to help me do these things. They did these things to make it right for me. They did these things to fix things for other people. And they have done a number of things, which I will look forward to sharing that with you at some point. But I don't want to do any sharing of those details until this stuff is concluded, because to share it at this point, obviously, when there's still so many things I'm still waiting on, 8.5, it'll be 9 years in July since I was blown up. But to have so many things still not wrapped up years later, and I mean, I was retired almost 1.5 years ago and still don't have these things concluded. That's not good news. That's not a good news story. But I have confidence that they're good people, and I've seen good people jumping in to help with things. I think it just stalled out because other things popped up to being more important and significant. So I think things just stalled out. So I'm hoping, and I've been holding out the whole time because I love the Air Force. I love the time that I serve, the people I serve with. There are some amazing people in the Air Force and the Army and multiple other branches, as well as other countries. When I was overseas, I worked with various other countries. And there's so many good people. Just like a community, you got a couple bad eggs, well, you got a couple there as well. But they have done a lot of things. There's already been improvements. I look forward to when this is done, that I can share all the amazing good news with you. All the great stuff that they've done up to this point, and all of the great things that will be done to conclude this and make things right to the close. So please keep praying, thinking, have me in your thoughts and prayers. I appreciate it. Someday I won't have to update you guys on that anymore. And then someday I'll be able to regularly do videos for you guys. Unlike right now, just because, I go to physical therapy appointments multiple times per week. And that's why I've been able to enjoy conversations with you guys the past couple weeks, because being high risk, I'm not going to expose myself to any of that. So all that time I typically spend and my appointments, I get to spend with you. And I have been enjoying it. I hope that you have been enjoying it as well. So thank you to everyone who checked on me. I do appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate all your patience as we've been going through all this stuff. Now, okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. We are going to start off with some general messages for everyone. Do keep in mind, these messages are general, and there are a lot of you listening. So if you find that you're like, oh man, Nicole, this just, isn't really ringing with me today, come back next week, and hopefully you'll find that something resonates with you then. Also, if you're just here for the general messages, I am glad that you are here. But if you do choose to stay and listen to people's questions as we work our way through it, you will likely find that there are messages for you mixed in all of those messages. I need a bigger table for all these cards. Okay, they want this deck. So if you listen to people's answers to their questions, even if it's not the answer to your question, you might very likely find something that is applicable to you, because the angels are amazing like that. They roll out, they'll give a little nugget of guidance, a little nugget of some help, and it will speak and help 300, 400 people, because they're really good like that. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Besides the cute little bunny. So we have this card, Bittersweet. Okay. So it's like three pieces. It's similar to last time. It's not like it's a whole story. You got A, B, and C. Oh, and they're saying they do tie. So for some of you, you'll find that all these 3 nuggets, all of them apply, or 2 of them apply. So Bittersweet. You see this? You see how she's like trying to hand, this looks like a child. Could be a man. Could be a very youthful man. Maybe he uses oil of Olay. But she's trying to hand this cake, but he looks very sad, forlorn. This is all about celebrating in the midst of your grief, in the midst of your sorrow. Many of us being in our homes right now during these times of uncertainty are at that point. And the angels are encouraging us to still celebrate life, celebrate that we are here, celebrate our health, celebrate our well-being, celebrate the well-being of our loved ones, our neighbors, our family, our friends. Also remember to pray for all of them. And not just praying for your immediate family and friends, but to pray for humanity as a whole. One of the things that I have found myself doing as I pray daily is I pray that they shut this virus down. Now, you can't overstep someone's free will, their free choice. Some souls have chosen this as their mode of transportation to cross over to the other side. Their missions are accomplished here on earth. They're ready to help their loved ones and such on the other side. And they are going to use this as their way to exit, to pass away. But most of us don't want this. We haven't chosen this. We don't want anything to do with it. So when I pray, I ask that they just shut it down. That they come in with their light and they blast Earth. Almost like turn their lights into bright UV lights. And they sanitize everything. So everyone that does not want this, it will be shut down. And I know that they are working hard on those things, and I do believe that's why we are going to find that poof, up, it just like disappears. We're like, oh, well, what happened? Where'd this virus go? Because a month from now, we'll be like, you're not hearing about people having it anymore. That's interesting, but that's the power of prayer. God is powerful. Jesus is powerful. The angels are powerful. So just make sure that when you're praying for those that you love, throw some prayers in there for everybody, because we are all connected, and it does. I believe, if anything, this is teaching everyone how much we are connected, because it is so viral and it does spread so quickly. Okay, totally random. The 5G piece, so for some of you, there's some of you out there that are like, wow, we don't even know if it's a virus. It's probably because of 5G. 5G is not a good thing. It's not good for our bodies. It damages our immune systems. That is not what's causing this, though. There is, in fact, a real man-made virus. This is true. It is really out there. The reason that so many people have connected it and believe it to be that new 5G is because you will find, when you look at maps, areas that had recently started that service, and Wuhan was one of the first areas, and many areas in China were first. You will find that they had higher fatality rates and higher rates of complication. That's not because that's what was causing it. People did get infected virus, but because their immune systems were being damaged by the frequencies coming from these new towers that were damaging their immune system, their body could not fight it. So they want you guys to know that, because there's a number of you that are listening to this that are like, I don't know, it is. It's real. It's just that service that was put in was not helping people. Okay. Not helping their immune systems. Now, on to... So it's all being connected, it's spreading, everyone's connected, everyone's sharing, receiving that. This is a reminder that we are all connected. So when you're praying, just pray for all of those around you. Now, for some of you, this is a lighthearted thing. Some of you do have loved ones, be it children, your spouse, that you are quarantined with, that you're at home with, and it is their birthday. So they are encouraging you, or it could be you're celebrating your anniversary, but they're encouraging you to still do what you can to celebrate those things and make those things special. Just because we're going through this time does not mean that you're not experiencing things that are worth celebrating. Like my neighbor across the street, she had her birthday last week. I made her cookies and I put them on her porch. And the girls and I, we did a little video singing happy birthday to her and sent her that little clip. So make sure you're still taking time to celebrate. And you can also get online and order some balloons or any party supplies for that. This is also about releasing the sorrows, regret, sadness, these things that you have. Because you do have things coming in that are worth celebrating. It's also, some of you are going to be having some unexpected news, some unexpected communications coming in April. And for most of you, this is a reminder about hidden blessings. So you do have a door that's closing, or a door that has recently closed. Allow that door to close, because there is another door opening up, but stop focusing on the door that closed. and or is in the process of closing because you can't move forward. They're encouraging you to release that because you have good things coming. See how this keeps spiraling? Because for some of you that are focused on that door that closed or that's in the process of closing, because you've repeatedly, they're saying it because you've repeatedly been focused on that door's been trying to close for some time. For a very long time, they have been trying to close that door. But because you've repeatedly been focused on it, you've been in this repeated cycle, this repeated pattern that goes nowhere. And actually, if you look, most of them just lead to this guy who's stuck in despair and sorrow and heartache. It's just, oh, go in there. Okay, we're going to get closer. Okay. And then this coming from the other side, closer. Oh, we went circles again. Oh, went circles again. Oh, now we're touching his face. So this cycle is repeatedly happening. This is your opportunity to be free from it. So they encourage you to do that. Now the next two cards, we have Clean It Up, and then we also have No Place Like Home. Now the card Cleaned Up, it's about releasing things. It's also about getting to the core of the situation, getting to the root of the situation. It's also about clearing the air. Now for some, yeah, this is truly talking about you're cleaning your house. You're spring cleaning again. You're spring cleaning again. You're like, oh, maybe since last week something else expired in my pantry. I've got to go look. Something else I might be able to toss. Oh, wait, maybe there's something up in my closet since I've been eating so many lockdown snacks that does not fit me anymore that I can throw in my Goodwill bag. You just keep cleaning. Just keep cleaning your house. Keep getting it ready. And some of you, that's what you're doing. That's what you're focusing on, they're saying. But then you've got this No Place Like Home. And this is all about, obviously, home is where we're safe. It's where we are secure. It's where we can be comfortable. We can be authentic. We can be our true selves. Like if you go out and you're meeting new people, you know, you're putting your best foot forward. You're like, I don't want them to know that I'm such a jokester. I don't want them to know this. I'm going to act very responsible. Very adult-like. But you're not yourself. At home, you can be yourself. Those that you are close with, close family, close friends, you can be who you are. Oh dear. Here comes the UPS man, and I don't even have the remote. Don't you bark at him. Oh no, he's got a box for your mama. Don't you do it. I know, sorry, I don't have the remote. I do have the baby gate though up with a blanket over it so that at their height they can't see. But they have very good ears, in case you guys didn't know. I mean, their ears, whoo, they can hear the UPS man coming from down the street. But he has stopped outside of our house, so hopefully they'll stay quiet so we can get a move on it. Okay, so these two cards. Some of you are being encouraged to speak up and clear the air. They're wanting you to know that you are safe to share with this person, to share your successes, to share your failures, to clear the air, to just let it all out, to be vulnerable. Because as you are vulnerable and you are sharing from a place of your truth and from honesty and vulnerability, you will find that they are as well. Some of you, they say that you're very scared. So for some of you, and oh my gosh, you know, I really need to start eating before I do these videos. If you hear my stomach grumbling, it's okay. Just please be patient. Work through this with me. I will eat when we're done. Next time I'll eat before we do the video so you don't get to hear my stomach saying get in my belly snacks. Some of you, you know, you had that door close and that new door. So say it's a new potential relationship. That's someone that you want to communicate with, but you're afraid, you're terrified. Some of you, you are shaking in your boots like, oh no, oh Lordy, how am I going to share this? How am I going to tell them that, well, what happened was, we're just going to do it because you're safe to do it. So for some of you, this is a soulmate, a twin flame, a twin soul. they're your home. They are your other half. It's interesting because they're saying, I don't know if you can see this image. You know, they were talking about spirals over here. You've always kept spiraling to dead-end locations. Those dead-end locations have led you home. I don't know if you can see this face. This face is staring down at home. So you have gone through this pain, this spiraling, this never-ending cycle. And that chapter's closed. You have finally closed that door. They're congratulating you on that. But finally closing that door and closing that madness, that insanity that you have been going through, has led you to the one that you belong with, the one that is in fact your home. And your eyes are on the prize because there's this face beaming down toward the home. You have your eyes on the prize. You're like, that's her or that's him. I know they're my home. I know they're my other half. I've gone down heartaches and trials and tribulations and downright hell to get to the point that I know they're the one. But how am I going to tell them? What are they going to think of me? How am I going to clear the air? You are being encouraged to do that. It's okay. You don't have anything to fear. They feel as strongly for you as you do for them. So just as you feel like they're your home, they're the one, they feel that you are their home, you're the one. So it's just a matter of the two of you clearing the air with each other. Both of you being vulnerable. Both of you communicating honestly, truthfully. And that will clear up the air. That will totally clean things up. And you're ready to move through that new door. Now, for some of you, this is encouraging you to energetically clean your home because sometimes we'll go through some really heavy stuff. Like my house, I was guided last year that I had to clear the energy of my home. I'm like, how the heck am I going to do that? And they're like, well, we'll show you. Get that rain stick out, get these other things, because I'd gone through hell with my military stuff. And like when I said that there's been amazing people who have stepped in and helped and get things this far, there have been. I mean, there's been leaps and bounds for me as well as my brothers and sisters in all branches of service. Someday I look forward to sharing that good news with you. But it was not a good time. It was really bad. I lived in this condo the entire time that I was going through this living hell. I moved in here right after I came home from Afghanistan. So this home that I live in has seen it all. My heartache, my tears, my sobbing, my parents and family and friends coming over, them going through everything with me. It's been a heavy time. And I was told, you've got to clear the energy, that heaviness. It's just weighing you down. You've got to get it out of your house. So I had to clear the house. Some of you are being energetically encouraged to energetically clear your home. And to do so in whatever fashion that you are being guided to do. Because that heavy energy, heartache, sorrow, heartbreak, sadness that you had from that door that just closed, it's still lingering in your house. And you're feeling it, it's bringing it down. And for some of you that have children or pets, they can sense it too. So they're kind of like, womp, 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 womp. So get the air cleansed, get it cleared. Pull out some sage. Pull out some Palo Santo. Meditate. If you got a rain stick, go through the house, do the Lord's Prayer, whatever you're guided to do that to get that energy out. They just clinked on the window. And one of the fastest, easiest ways to do it is with sage, and open your windows and get that all cleared out. Get that funk up out of your house so you are ready for what is to come. Because beautiful things are headed your way. And for a number of you will be arriving this month. The last thing that they're encouraging you to do is to use this time to finally create some balance in your life. Because for some of you, you have been workaholics. You've never focused on home. You've never focused on family. You may have had relationships, flings, but they weren't serious. They weren't concrete. It's not like you were like, oh, I'm going to get married or I'm going to get married and have a family. It was just, oh, well, I enjoy their company, taking a trip or whatever, but that's all this is going to be. And then you worked all the time. They're encouraging you to prepare for this new paradigm, which will actually bring you joy, because the cycle that you have been in, although it did fulfill you many years ago, when you're in your youth 20s, you jumped in, workaholic, working up the ladder, you're like, this is amazing. Well, now you're a little bit older. you want roots. You want to have a legacy. You want a connection. You want someone that's going to be there with you through thick and thin, through good times, through bad times. Maybe some of you, you've gone through an illness and you've had to go through it alone. And it was scary to have to go through it alone. You want someone that's going to be there with you, to support you, to love you, to help you get through it, to encourage you. Also fear of like death. Like, you know, I don't want to die alone. I don't want to die and have this have been my whole life of, oh, all I ever did was worked. That was it. Everyone will look back and be like, oh, he just worked all the time. Or she. Yeah, they had some people they dated sometimes, but they really didn't have any mark that they left there. You don't want that. At this point, you're wanting connection, you're wanting home, you're wanting stability. You are desiring those things. Now, to have those things, it does require having balance in your life. So this kind of a slowdown that we have been given, this is a blessing in disguise. This is the opportunity for you to get that work-life balance, because you do want to share your, because they're saying for most of you that this is a message. You are contemplating marriage. You are contemplating a permanent relationship with someone. You know, they are saying marriage. A lot of you are actually thinking about marriage, and you're not even in the relationship with the person yet, but a number of you, you know who that is. You've got your eye on them. You got your eye on the prize. This is what you want. This is what you desire. Your lifestyle the way it was before now, where you constantly worked all the time, that is not conducive to sharing your life with someone. That's not conducive to having a spouse. You can't be working all the time and never be there for them, because then there's going to be resentment that they're always home alone. Be like, well, why do I need you here? You're never even here. What's the point? So you don't want that. That's not a good thing. So you've got this blessing, this gift at this time to get that balance. So you're not working all the time. So you can come back to work after this and have some work-life balance. Don't jump back into the craziness that you've done before. So that way you can usher in this new life, this new beginning, this new spouse. And then you can balance everything just fine. But clean out that stuff you've been doing that's not going to work in your new chapter. And they're saying, and you know it. The last card we have, at the top it says consciousness, and at the bottom it says optimism. Now this is beautiful. Look at all this fruit, abundance all around her. She's looking out the fields. They've flourished. They're ready to be harvested. This is about abundance. Your life is shifting. It is moving up. You're getting an upgrade. You are moving in a positive direction. You are moving in an abundant direction. Yes, many of you have had a door recently close. That door's closed. But look how blue and dark and sad that is. I mean, who wants to be there? Look at this. This is where you want to be. This is where you're heading. Oh, and they're also pointing out her dress is yellow, which is the color of joy. Come here, Lexi. I don't know why it is that Lexi always wants to come up here in your reading, and then she just won't get close to my chair. You have tremendous joy, happiness, bliss coming in your way, in your direction. You've got this new start, this new development. For most of you, it's going to be regarding love, but for a number of you, it's regarding your career, your money, starting your own business. But it's this new fresh start. It's what this new door has opened up for you. And you're able to move into that only because you have released the past. So for those of you that haven't fully released the past, you can't have this until this is gone, but you have this time out. See, this is right smack in the middle. You have this time out to let that stuff go. Get the balance. Release that. Focus on the future. And they're encouraging you to shift your mindset. It's essential to have a positive mindset. So for some of you, maybe you're going to start a business. You're like, oh my gosh, no one's going to give me a business loan. They're just not going to do that. And I'm not going to be able to get this business started. Da, da, da. Yes, you will. It's going to be a flourishing, successful business. You're not going to have any issues. Know that. Have positive thoughts. Have confidence. For those of you, this is, communicating, sharing the truth with someone, putting it all out, clearing the air. It's going to turn out beautifully. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about. And you know that because you've been getting divine signs and messages and synchronicities sending you in this direction. So they are encouraging you to trust and be positive. Okay, so hopefully that helped everyone. I was hoping we could do this in like 30 minutes. Clearly not. So I mean, maybe if I only pulled like 2 questions for only 2 of you, then maybe we'd be able to do it. But I like being able to answer more questions. So if you all are okay with these lengthy little readings, we are going to do them. Because the angels like to talk to you all. Okay. Nikki Lilly. And again, as I always do, because there's going to be a couple of you, I am going to totally butcher your names this week. Just prepare for this to go not so well when I pronounce your names. But I apologize now. Please know that I am sorry if I mispronounce it. But it is going to likely happen this week, because a few of you are going to throw me for a doozy. Okay, but Nikki Lilly, I love that your name is easy. This is great. Nikki's question is, I would like to know what the message is that you had for me and never got a chance to tell me. That's funny. Well, that's why they had cards pulled. So they're saying, because I don't remember what the message is that I gave you. I was asking them what's the message. And they're saying the meaning has passed at this point. And don't fret over that. Don't be like, oh my gosh. It doesn't mean anything bad. Like, if somebody had a message for me in early 2018, maybe they were going to tell me, stop freaking out. Your retirement is going to go through this year, and you're not going to have to continue to be in the very toxic, hostile environment that you're in. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. You'll be retired later this year. Well, if they didn't tell me, and if they came to me now, and I was like, well, what were you going to tell me? What was that message? You're like, it's obsolete. Why would they tell me? Yeah, I know. I already retired a year and a half ago almost. Okay, that's old news. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's come to pass already. So for you, it has come to pass. It's irrelevant at this juncture. Which is why they wanted you to have cards. So you have 3 cards. You have Imagine Solutions, Change Tracks, and Focus on Success. So they're encouraging you to not allow yourself to feel overwhelmed, because you are feeling overwhelmed. Instead, look at things and take things one step at a time. And also try not to be a perfectionist. And allow yourself to release. There's some grief, sadness, sorrow that you have. It could be because there was like some gossip that caused a rift between you and someone. And that really upset you. So they're encouraging you to allow that to go, which that's random because that doesn't even really match the cards. But they're encouraging you to release that. Also release impatience. Things will happen in due time, they're saying, in divine timing. Now, this changing tracks, you are heading, like the general messages for everyone, you are heading in this beautiful new beginning. You're walking through this new door. I get it as career-related, money-related, and it is going to be successful. So similar to the general messages for everyone, to stay positive, stay optimistic, know that it is going to be in your favor. So I hope that helps, Nikki. Whatever I was going to say or share in the past has already come and set you up for this new beginning. So you're heading in that direction, and I do hope that that helped. Now, Medi Tatie, Marion, said, a lot has been happening in my life that has made me transition. So since last summer, my life finally got in a more quiet, steady phase, which was never really the case. My general question, how do I relate to what is, and where does it take me? Let's do this deck. Okay. They just clinked on the window. Pull the cards already. 3. Okay. So you have message in a bottle, building blocks, and poised. This is a preparation time that you are in, a preparation phase. Call it the calm before the storm, if you would like, which is where many people are even at right now with this temporary pause, temporary timeout, kind of like the general message for people who were workaholics. You know, they've got this timeout, so they're working all the time, and now they're stuck at home. And for them to embark on this family life, this marriage, this future that they desire, this is their calm to prepare, to lay that foundation so that they're not working all the time to move in the future. This is for you, a preparatory time. Now, see how the seagull is focused down at the message in the bottle? Really focused on that. They are encouraging you to pay attention to the messages and signs that you are getting, because you're repeatedly getting. So these messages and signs that they keep giving you over and over, pay attention to those. Because it's going to help clear up this confusion, because they're saying that you are in a time of like a lot of confusion, uncertainty. And you are at this time constrained because you're not trusting the messages and guidance that you're getting. You're doubting them. And this is a time that you are, obviously the building blocks, that you are building a solid foundation. And this is going to help with the renewal of your life, because your life hasn't been where you wanted it. You're thankful for this calm, but you're like, okay, well, when do I get the job I want, the love I want? When do I get these things that are going to bring me joy? This is a time to lay that foundation for it. And also being ready and confident in yourself as you move forward. Ready to move forward, ready to get on that new road, that new path. Also knowing that it's safe for you to move forward. And they're saying it is time to move forward, because part of what has you stuck is you keep looking at the past. You know, the seagull's looking toward the past. She's looking toward the past. Even in the poise card, she's not looking forward. She's just face-centered. So in order for you to be able to move forward, they are encouraging you to release the past, stop looking back on the past and questioning the signs, the messages, the guidance that they're giving you now for this new path, new direction. They're encouraging you to trust that, because that's what's going to bring you, they're saying fulfillment. It's going to bring you the fulfillment that you're seeking. Okay. So, here we go. Orakelzeit. I told you it was going to be butchered at some point. When will my divine masculine contact me? Okay. Of course, you have to ask a time frame. You know I don't like giving time frames, because time frames typically shift. Like any clients and such that I've worked with, they'll be able to tell you what the angels were saying was going to happen. Yes, it happened. Did it happen when? No. I mean, you'll find a couple of them will say, yes, it did happen when she was saying, when the angels were saying. But because there's so many moving balls, moving parts and pieces, it is very difficult to pinpoint a time. But I will tell you at this point, it's still a little ways off. Now that can shift and change. Right now you're looking like early winter, November-ish, December-ish. Don't freak out. They're showing me that you're kind of trying to freak out. Don't freak out. Things can shift and change. It's just that right now, your divine masculine is going through a very difficult time of transformation and growth. They're kind of like stuck in that middle spot right now. They're having a very difficult time emotionally because they're often crying themselves to sleep. And you are physically feeling that because you're feeling their depression and their anxiety. They do love you. They do care about you. They do compare everyone that they meet to you. Like sometimes they'll see somebody and they'll be like, oh, it's her. Oh, no, it's not. oh, that looks like her from the back, and they'll turn, oh, no, it's not. So they do love you, they do care. They are just not ready yet. That's all. They're just not ready yet. And they'll get there in due time. So hopefully that helps. Now, Ashley Marie Coleman has asked, will the person that I love commit to me? Yes. Eventually. It's not in the foreseeable immediate future. Because they are having a hard time seeing the two of you together right now. Because there's a lot of things that they need to do to heal and release, and they just aren't getting those things accomplished at this point. They're not releasing things. They're not. There's a lot of family healing and things that they need to do that they don't have accomplished yet, and those things have to be done before the two of you could be together. They also have some healing for their self-esteem because they don't feel that they can give you what you deserve. And the relationship that they'd been in, that was a relationship of convenience. So will they commit? Yes. When? Can't say at this point. So hopefully that helps. Continue hanging there and focus on your blessings and things that are rolling in there, encouraging you to do at this time. So, Rozlynn. Okay. Rozlynn Mahabally. Mahabally? We knew it was going to happen this time. What is the sign of my future husband in the letter of his name, if you can? If he's my twin flame or soulmate, the one I'm destined to be with. Let's pull you some cards. Now, the interesting thing is, I can give you a letter. I can give you a sign. Here's the thing with that. There is a potential for a very high level soulmate, twin soul, but it's still up in the air. It's not been decided yet. That's all I can tell you, H in Libra. It's not, that's not locked in at this point. It's they're showing me someone juggling. It's still up in the air. It's undecided. And hesitant to give you the letter because I don't want you focusing. I already did. You already heard the letter and the sign. Because the concern with that is that you're going to just totally focus on those things. And since it is up in the air, don't want you to focus and accept someone. Oh, his name's Harry. Yes, he's the one. When it's not yet firmly decided. Yeah, they're showing me that it's not, not locked in. Okay. So they want me to tell you. Okay. So many years ago, I had a reading done with someone. It was probably like 2003, I think. And so he did this reading with me, for me. And he was like, oh my gosh, you are like one of the only people I've ever met that's actually going to meet and be with your other half. And he was like dumbfounded, like, oh my gosh, he was like, I've never met anyone in my life. Of all the years doing this, I've never met anyone that really is going to meet their other half. He's like, but you're going to meet him. and two of you are going to get together and you're going to get married. It's going to take a really, really long time. He said, it's going to take so long that you're actually going to give up on it. And just at the point you're giving up on it and you're moving on, it'll finally come together. He said, but two of you are going to get married. You're going to have a child. He said, but he is your other half. And his name begins with a D. Like Delta, you know, if you do military, Delta, D. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I was locked to that letter, right? So fast forward, I meet this man. His name began with a D. I'm like, oh, this is the one. And he knocked my socks off. I was like, woo, this is it. This is the one. But in a short time, it went south. Like, it was just amazing sparks. Then it went south, and he was a terrible con man who, you know, admitted to me that he had hacked into my bank account and these different things. And he'd only started dating me so I could make him money. And it was a really horrible, horrible situation. But he was my false twin. Yes, his name began with a D, but he was not my twin flame. He was not my other half that I was destined and am destined to be with. Did I think in the beginning that he was the one? Yeah. Because when it comes to twin flames and twin souls, they typically are going to meet someone before they meet their true twin, before they meet the true other half that they will believe is their other half. Typically that person is I won't mention what type of beings they are, but they're a very low vibrational being. Kind of like in disguise, making them think that they're the other half. And they could have some characteristics and traits of the true twin, but they're not the twin. They are the false twin, the shadow twin. And, you know, when you meet that person, you think, oh my gosh, this is it. They're the one. Oh my gosh, I've got this connection. I've never felt a connection like this. But it goes south, and they'll play a lot of mental games. And you typically know because you're left where they've wrecked your life, financially, emotionally. Complete disastrous train wreck. But that's the shadow, the false twin. And then in comes the true twin. So then a number of years later, I met my true twin. And in fact, his name does begin with a D as well. So Mr. DT rolls in, and I realize, whoo, holy moly, this is it. This is the real twin. But many, many years ago, I was told it's a D, and it was correct. They're having me just give you that warning because there are things up in the air, and there could be someone that you meet that is a false before you meet the real, and they may in fact have different letters to their name. So just keep that in mind. As you're like, where's Mr. H? Mr. H is the one. But it is, it's still up in the air. There's still some things being worked on. And that could be because maybe maybe you were told before by someone that his name began with an F, and you've got this guy that you're like, oh, definitely, it's Frank. Oh my gosh. But this is showing Frank's not the one. But you're like, oh, but I was told by these people, Frank's it, you know, this is it. Don't stick to those names because there can also be walk-ins. Someone that I know that's near and dear, her twin actually ended up being a walk-in to another body. So things can get interesting. So just, they're encouraging you to not get hung up on the letter of the name, which even these cards are showing. So we've got very soon, it's reversed. We've got express your love, it's reversed. We have finances and career, it's reversed. And then we have new love. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see all those. There you go. But new love is upright. So again, that is, don't be stuck to the name. Are you going to be having this very strong soulmate come in? Yes. Do you going to have a potential twin soul coming in? Yes. But in the interim, while you're waiting for this to happen, they are encouraging you to focus on you, focus on your career. There is a new career venture, something that you're trying to build and work on. They're encouraging you to focus on that, and also be open to this new love that's going to be coming in. And they're also going to be sending just like some dates in before they send in the one. So just enjoy the time dating as well. because that's also going to help you fill the time, have fun, enjoy life before this one does come in for you. He will be coming in. Just hang in there. It's going to be happening. So I hope that helps, Rozlynn. Okay, ShellBee. ShellBee asks, I've been asking my angels about this, so perhaps timing still isn't right. Wanting to know if Rick will be able to open his heart and allow this connection to happen. Okay. You get some cards as well. You get the same deck. Okay. You get the same deck. Yeah, he is. Okay. So you have honeymoon, you have you deserve love, and you have the card flirt. Yes, he will be opening his heart. Yes, he is going to fully embrace this connection. But they're encouraging you to give him some time. Oh my goodness, give me a second. I'm trying to not sneeze. Oh, okay, I think it's passed. Because if I sneeze, they typically come in threes. Let me take a sip of water, see if that helps. You don't want me sneezing all over, ShellBee. This won't be good. Hold on a second. Oh man. Oh dear. Okay. Whew. Oh man, because I'm that person that sneezes loud, and there are usually at least 3 of them come in a row. Okay. Oh, disaster averted. Whew. Okay. Yes, but encouraging you, give him time. Simply start by enjoying conversations with him, enjoy flirting with him, enjoy spending time with him, enjoy getting to know each other. Do not push anything. You see how she's got this bow and arrow pulled back like, I got my eye on the prize. Ooh, I'm going to sack that, take it home. That's mine. Don't do that. Throttle back. Don't push anything, because you're going to spook him and he's going to run again. He will be reaching out to you, and he may have already reached out to you in March, if not, it's going to be in the immediate future. And the reason he's initially reaching out to you is not because he's ready for you to bag him, tag him, claim him as your own, and be like, he's put a ring on it, we're going down the aisle tomorrow. No. Initially, he's reaching out to you because he is terrified that you have moved on. And he just wants to see if you're available. And then he wants to spend time getting to know you. But he is not ready to jump into, they're saying, an official relationship yet. Because he was in some relationships that were pretty crappy, and he was really hurt, and he's trying to allow himself, just as you had to heal to trust, he's now trying to heal himself to open his heart to trust. It's not anything against you, it's his own stuff that he's healing. It will be healed. He will open up, but he needs time for that. So you jumping straight out the gate to be like, I have been waiting for this for so long. I'm so glad that you showed up, Rick. Wowza. About daggone time you get here. No, lighthearted, fun, flirty, interactive conversations, romantic time together, taking your time together, and then it'll all come together perfectly. There's something also about like he didn't choose you or didn't come in the direction because of he had listened to his friends, and at some point that's something he's going to be confessing. So, but yes, there's your answer. Hopefully that helps. Last person, Ingrid Martinez. When will my soul flame and I come together in the physical? So it's a few months off, likely not until around July. They are having difficulty, challenges, releasing their ex, and particularly releasing the emotions tied to it. There were some financial issues that resulted because of that relationship, so that it's left him feeling like a failure financially, which is not true, but that is something that is important to them as they would embark into a permanent relationship, marriage, something like that. But this person has left them like in shambles, disarray financially. And they are at a really low point right now because of that and that door that's closing. And they do care about you. They actually wish that they had your presence, your love, your care, because you're very nourishing for the soul. You're very nourishing for their soul. And they really feeling that they feel that they need that at this time. They have very deep feelings for you. Kind of like the last person we were talking about being spooked, almost like kind of scares them, frightens them, like, oh my gosh, whoo, this is a lot. Oh, I got feels everywhere. Didn't know I could have feels. Oh, what if I take that leap? Oh, but they're going to work through that. In the very near future, they're saying. Now, okay. So, who was the last person when they were talking about? So, this part may be tied to the last person where they started to bring this up, and I didn't talk about it. I just skipped on to the next person. You may have noticed a nice big gap between Ashley, Marie Coleman, and before I moved on to Rozlynn, because they were talking about this. So this may be, Ingrid, that this has nothing to do with you. This may be that they are not going to let me wrap up this conversation until I give this message for Ashley Coleman. However, it's likely it's actually for both of you. Because this person you're asking about is in fact your twin soul. Excuse me as I clear my throat. Interestingly clearing my throat because there are things that have been unsaid between you and them. And again, this could be just for Ashley, but it is both of you. Things that were unsaid about a baby. A baby that the two of you had lost. So they still have confusion about the baby. Initially, again, this could be for both or just one, Ingrid and Ashley. Initially, they thought that you weren't honest. They had a hard time believing it. And not that they think you're a horrible person. Not that they think you're a liar. Don't get upset. You don't like it when somebody thinks you're a liar, because that's something you pride yourself on, is honesty. And I get that. I'm a Scorpio. Scorpios cannot handle it when people lie. Don't like it at all. Okay, so the reason they find it hard to believe is okay. So take my twin and I. We got pregnant in 2012. We lost the baby. I was shocked even to find out I was pregnant. I'm like, there's no way. Because many years ago, my doctor had done, surgery. She's, someday, down the road, going to probably have to give you fertility things or whatever, because, endometriosis and stuff should be in my family. She said, but, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross that. And so fast forward, we get pregnant. I'm like, how in the world am I pregnant? There's no, even I wasn't believing it. I'm like, no way. Because I had intimate relationships. So of course, granted, I can count on one hand, and I'd been in long-term relationships with those gents before, and there was never any baby making, none. There were even times in the past that I had forgotten to take birth control. But when I was intimate with my twin, I had not forgotten any birth control. I was taking it at the same time every day. I was like, there is no way that this should have happened. How in the world did this happen? And he your twin probably thought the same thing of like, how did this happen? I've been with other women before or married before and not using protection, and this has never happened. Are you sure? But that also just goes to show the power of twins. A lot of twins are intended to have children together. And those children, they're ready to come in, even if they're going to come in early. So it's not that he thinks you were a liar, just found it hard to believe. Although now, they do think differently. They are still having a difficult time to wrap their head around it and accept it, but they've had a change in their views of that. And for Ashley, they're saying that they do believe that, yes, you two lost a child. It was kind of like the shock initially when they heard it. And then the shock of looking back and they're like, okay, well, I've been with other people. This has never happened before. Are you sure? How can this happen? We're barely together. How in the world? But their opinion of that has changed. They don't believe that was incorrect information any longer. And that is something that the two of you will get to clear the air on when you finally come together and communicate. So I hope that helped all of you. I have enjoyed chatting with all of you on this beautiful sunny Friday. The girls and I are going to get outside and enjoy a little bit of sunshine. I hope that all of you can do that. And they're getting shifty. They're waking up and they're on the move. Oh, they want to talk too. Do you want to tell everybody have a lovely day? Yeah, Lexi says have a lovely day. And I wish you all a lot of love, joy, and blessings. And I will talk back in a number of days.